Choo, choo. Hello, hello, everybody. This is a special edition of the Bold and Beautiful Voices Mother's Day edition, and we got our special guest, Miss Talise. Hello, Talise.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good today.
That's great.
Doing pretty
How's Mother's
good.
Day going?
I'm
How's
enjoying
your Mother's Day?
this. I always enjoy this day, but I actually am enjoying this.
That's great. I slept in
How's yours
till
going?
probably, say that again. Can you hear me? Talise,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. So, how did you start
Yeah.
off your
Can you
Mother's
hear me?
Day? I can hear you now.
Uh, Woke up. Hello? Are you there?
I'm
Oh
here.
no. Are you there?
I'm here. Hi.
Okay. So yeah, I woke up late and messed around until I decided to finally get up and go to church. Had a good service, a good message, and I was gonna go somewhere, and I decided to go home instead. And
Yeah,
I'm happy I did. Me and my daughter have been like dancing around, singing the music, and cleaning the house.
that's daily here. My plans was to get up and go to church this morning, but I totally overslept. Had a night out last night and got home a little too late, and I just woke up overslept. But God knows my heart. Well, I'm happy to have you on this show today. For
Here,
you guys tuning in, this is just a special edition of Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. You don't necessarily have to been and birth a child, just a stepmom or being there for someone that doesn't have a mom, that means a lot.
yeah,
So we're gonna just ask Talise some questions here, just reflecting back on, motherhood when you found out you was with child.
ooh,
With
when I found out I was
child.
a child.
I remember when I found out, I did not know what was going on with me. I really thought I had like a bug or something. And I was throwing up and I was like, my God, what was wrong with me? And I asked my mom. No, I didn't want to tell my mom that I was like throwing up and I was sick. And then I knew something was really wrong when the smell of things started making me sick to my stomach. But I
Mm.
didn't know that I was pregnant. I didn't know I was pregnant. So what was your initial reaction when you found out you was going to be a mom?
Um, so I had a feeling I was because I was late. So went to the store, got the test, and me and him were sitting there. And I cannot lie, I sat in the bathroom for like 30 minutes. And then he finally came in. He was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I think I sat there for another couple of hours, and out of nowhere, I was just like, "You gotta go. Like, I gotta take." I didn't tell him. I didn't tell him at that moment. It took me a while to accept that I was a mom, like because I had this feeling, but then I took this test, and now I'm sitting here like 8,700 things running through my mind, and I was like literally a month in like 4 days. I knew the day, I knew everything.
But you know what? What I think when our kids, the community gets to high school, I really think that they should teach our young women about their bodies because a lot of these young women don't know about their bodies. When you ovulate, what's your highest days on getting pregnant? Your lowest days. And I really wish
Mhm.
that they would do that because I think that if that was taught, even from home, that a lot of teen pregnancy would be prevented.
I
Because I
think
don't,
we would be more conscientious
yeah,
of when we would think twice about it more. I definitely agree. I also think like we just, even at a younger age, even when they're like, middle school and just teaching, because those hormones start happening.
Yeah.
Those things, like you get that period, and like they don't even teach you about periods in school, as if it's not something every single girl goes through.
Yeah. I know my daughter, she'll be 10 this year, and we've been talking about things like that. They're never too
Yeah.
young to learn. And I just don't want the outside to teach my daughter when I'm her mother. I can teach her myself.
Yeah. Me and my daughter, we've been doing the same thing. Like, explain to her like this is where it's at if it ever starts, because I'm already seeing those little signs of things happening, the mood swings
I
and
feel
body
bad for our
changing.
kids. Got to go through that. Like, I wish there was like a mandatory age, you know, 18. That's when it starts. These kids, I know someone daughter that's like 9, and I'm like, oh my God, they're still just a baby.
Yeah,
And it
it's
really
crazy.
it really sucks. And I just, I when I found out that I was having girls, I was really excited. But once they start, they passed that hump of 7, I was like, oh my God, I got to start talking to them about, women life events and
Hmm.
what's
What
what.
to look out for when it come to boy. This is how they gonna talk to you. I know you don't know nothing about it right now, but I'm just going ahead and plant the seed. Don't let this happen. Don't be,
Exactly.
don't be persuaded by this. Just because he said that doesn't mean that. Because I mean, you
Exactly.
have to do that in an everyday world of that we live in. They go and watch a video or see something, and they're like, "But this, TikTok said this," or "But my teacher said that." Well, listen, your teacher ain't been in the real world where I've been, or like, they haven't been the places I've been.
But I most definitely can say that raising boys is so much easier than raising girls. I would rather have a house full of boys than to have a house full of girls, because you got to deal with their attitudes and their hormones and geez.
I do love my godsons. They are a lot more calm. And from when they were little, like when I have them, it is a whole lot easier to kind of chill with them.
And then you look over at your girl and be like, you just get on my nerve. Because I know my daughter, she gets on my last nerve, and I can't even lie about it, but she's my daughter. I got to love her.
Yeah,
It's something we got to go through in life. Can you share
definitely.
a funny moment during your pregnancy journey?
Can I what?
Share a funny moment during your pregnancy journey.
Oh, gosh. I think my funnier moments were more geared towards the fact that I had boobs and I was super excited about it. Because your girl has always been A cup like, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm over here in C land, like this girl. Oh, baby, it wouldn't have been no need for this because it would have been, "Whoa," you know what I'm saying? Like it would have been sitting in the rain. I ain't got nothing. What? Just wake up. Here I am. Pew. And don't get me started when it was full of milk, child. Yes. So
Let me
as
tell
I
you,
grew my breast, I think that was my favorite part.
yeah, I don't think I had no favorite parts of being pregnant, because my thought process every time I got pregnant was, what if I die? I don't know why I always think the worst thing,
I
but
definitely thought about that.
when we give birth, like, that's like the most dangerous thing. And so I got 2 sets of kids. I got a grown set and I got a smaller set. And sometimes now, I sit back and I be like, what was I thinking? Why did I let this man trick me into having 2 more kids and I already got 2 grown? But I just really believe that God does everything for a reason.
If anything, I'm glad because I don't know how we would have. I don't know if we would have been connected the way we do. Like it's more than just the swag or anything. The kids enjoy each other. Like I enjoy you as a person. But that relationship when you meet women who have kids around your age, your kids' age, it does make a difference,
It does.
especially at certain ages of your life. Like you started over, so having uh friends who have kids around those ages being your age, because it feels different, I'm sure, for you. Like
It
I
does.
had grown kids now, and because I see it with my dad, like my older siblings, I'm My brother's 40. I'm about to be 37. And we have a sister who's 32. But then we have a baby brother who's 24.
Mhm.
So that was the end for the longest. And now we have like my daughter's 9 and my little brother and sister are 7 and 8. So it is definitely watching and seeing how he parents differently, but his relationship with friends are different too. Because I mean, he in his 50s with kids. Like,
I most definitely like I have a lot of friends that's like Alasia's age, but I really wish I had more friends with little boys. Because everybody in my family is oh, not like but they're older.
mm-hmm.
So that's what I struggle with, with him being around other boys and stuff. He do have a cousin that he spent some time with on his father's side, but it's nothing like having that, what I'm saying, friends with the same age. So that's
Yeah,
why I'm so eager and I'm ready for football season so he can be around a lot of more,
boys,
little
yeah.
boys. So yeah, that's one thing that I struggle with. But I never had like a fun moment. Like, I be watching these videos of people be so excited and I'll be trying to like, what I'm saying, put salt on them. But I'm like, I was never this excited when I found out I was pregnant. I was always mad.
I wasn't mad. I was sad.
Always.
I was definitely depressed for probably about the first 7 months. My joyful moments were really my boobs. Outside of that, I was depressed for a long time. And it wasn't until I got to like my last trimester that I don't know, just something in me was just like, this is gonna be good. You're gonna be able to do this. Because I think my biggest thing was I'm afraid to be a mom because I was afraid of being like my mom, and I didn't feel like I had the mom that I deserved. Like I didn't get what I needed, and how am I supposed to give that to somebody else? But I didn't get what I needed myself. So how? What am I supposed to teach it? Like, um,
Exactly.
and I look back now. Oh, she's gonna be 10 next month, or a month from today,
Hmm.
and I think back to like the struggle and the journey to get here, and all those things that I feared in the womb, all those frustrations, all those feelings, like they aren't the reality,
Yeah.
because though some things have happened, the truth of the matter is the majority has been good. I always had a roof, always had food, always had the means to be able to get here and do this or do that. Um, Even with me and her dad not having the best of relationship, he has picked up where he needs to, especially more recent years. Like, and that's why I think honing in on those feelings that I had of pregnancy makes me realize we really do. We sometimes put so much pressure on ourselves,
Hmm.
especially the moment we find out we're pregnant.
Yes.
Like there's this huge like cloud that hits you, and it's almost like a switch turns on in your body, and it's like, this is what you need to change. This is what you
Hmm.
need to do. You've got to do all these things. You've got to be this type of person. And the reality is, with each one of your kids, and even now with me and her, it's like you grow with each one of them.
Yeah, you do.
You're becoming a whole nother person with each one of them. And whatever person you were when you raised the last one, it's not going to be the same person you're raising today. Even between the two of them being so close in age,
Hmm.
you're still parenting them totally different
Yes.
within that same age frame, because with each stage you're growing, you're changing. So you learn from the first three to know what to do on the last one, but that's a different type of kid. So you also got to adjust to them.
Yes. I've know with these last two patients, I'm so much more patient. And my older kids, they be like, you would have never let us got away with that. I get that all the time. So I be looking back like, yeah, you're right. I would never let you guys got away with it. But I'm much older now, and things has changed. And like as far as like, with anything period from 2000 from 1999 to 2020. No, Mary S was one. 99, she was one in 2001 versus now. Everything has changed.
The
So,
world is completely different.
yeah, so the things that I'm able to do for them now, we didn't
I
have
couldn't
that
have to
when
do
we
it.
was
Yeah, we might not have been able to do that back then.
we didn't have it. So just be grateful, that I'm still the bomb mom that you have. And, I think it's very important for everybody to have that bond with their kids. Like my kids, like my older two kids, they're more like my best friend now. Like I'm still mama, but we can sit down and we can talk about things. Um, just disagree to agree. And I really appreciate that. So I, my mom been in my life all my life, but my great grandmother raised me, and she raised me to be a survivor and to give love. So I always tell my kids I love them. I don't ever want them to grow up and have a conversation with someone and be like, my mom didn't do this, and my mom never really told me that she loved me, or I didn't feel love, and just talking to you about your feelings and your mom. I'm like, wow, I know that got to be painful for you to feel that way. So, what I'm saying, you can just look back on how your mom treated you, and you can do 10 times better, to making sure that you're giving your daughter all the love and support that she needs. And you're doing that. Like you are, we have our days where we just don't want to do anything. I have them days all the time, but we still make it happen.
Yeah.
You do a great job, raising your daughter. Your daughter goes to PCA. A lot of people is not going to pay for their kids to go to school. You know, that's just something that they're not going to do. So all these great advantages that our kids have, I'm saying, you're able to provide that for your child. And I just want to tell you, you keep up the great job with raising your child, even though you have those days and, I have to talk and I have to listen and let you know, hey, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Now, where I'm at now in life, with being the only parent and raising my kids, like I was mad about that. I was upset about it because I didn't agree to this. I didn't agree. And with my kid's father, I always told him that I didn't want to raise kids alone. And so when tragic happened, I was like, oh my God, is this deja vu that I don't want to do it? But now I'm finally accepting, and I just got to do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? It takes a village, but to raise kids, and I appreciate everybody that helps me with my kids. It's
Yeah.
more people that's not family that helps me with my kids. My mom, when she's here, she helps. I have a sister. She's going through, with her daughter. Her daughter, my niece, she has, cancer, but she always helping out, even though she have a whole list of problems. I have my dad that comes down every month, just to hang out, to spend time with his grandkids, just to let me put my hair, let me, let my hair out and just have fun. Then, of course, my oldest two kids. So I'm not that type of mama that's like, okay, well, you got to watch your brother and sisters.
Right.
I'm never going to be that type of mom because those are not their kids. They still have their lives to live. But whenever they do help me, I really appreciate it. I have my uncle in Jacksonville that helps me a lot. Um, his side of the family, I have two of his aunties that really helps out, that still standing by, and I really appreciate them. But everything else comes from the outside of people helping.
Yeah.
And for a long time, it was hard for me to accept help,
That part.
because help comes with a price. I don't care what nobody say. Well, I helped you.
Hmm.
Got this, or can I get this? So that's what I was really like afraid of. So I used to always decline help. But now I be like, you want to watch them for a few hours while I go let my hair out and walk downtown or have a drink? Like now I'm more open to it.
And that's where I've gotten to too. Like, especially post the accident. I mean, I would definitely have to say, post my accident, I had no choice but to. Like, God put me in a position where, what you gonna do now? Like, I ain't got no choice but to depend on people. But it also put me in a position to reassess my ability to build trust,
Yeah.
to be open to trusting more people, and like You and other people would come and get a Laura to take her to birthday parties or to go to do stuff just to get her out the house.
Yes.
Knowing I can't get her out, and that's not what we were used to. What I'm saying? Even though we were COVID, like other people were getting them to go do stuff, and she saw it, and I couldn't do it like that. Like it's too much energy on me. But somebody else coming to take her to go do something meant the world for me. Like that when a village comes in. And even if they don't stick around for a long time, they came in for their purpose and they were gone. I was still happy about it. I was still grateful about it. And even to this day, like I realized, like none of my family came and helped with my daughter after my accident. Like I have a grandmother, cousins. Like no, I have one cousin that came and helped me out. But outside of that, like aunties, step grandma, other cousins that all live, nobody. But in my church family came through, my friends, my swag family, like people were showing up with just little stuff. Like, I remember when Sally happened, I literally could not do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Sally happened and we were stuck and people were showing up with boxes of food. And I hadn't even thought about, like, I wasn't asking nobody for nothing. I was just like, well, we're going to do what we got to do here. Because I know other people are hurting. Like, I don't want to burden nobody else. And that's where that whole asking for help comes in. Like, I didn't want to burden nobody else. They got their own problems, But people were just showing up. And even now down to the point where, the first half of this year, my daughter's been living with her dad full time. Never would have asked him to do that. Yeah. Never would have asked him to do that. You didn't ask me months ago, a year ago, that would have never been a thought. But it's been amazing for her. It's been amazing for me too. And so realizing like it does take that village. Like his mom, biggest help I could ask for. Like I know for a fact other people who have like children and their parents, their father's mom or their other mom's, the other parent, their child's grandparent, totally not there. If I pick up the phone and say, hey, she need to get picked up from school, the woman's gonna figure it out. Yeah. Hey, your son ain't answering the phone. The woman's going to get the man on the bus. Yes. Like, she makes it happen. I don't have to be nasty. I don't have to have an attitude. It's just, listen, this is what's best for her. And we all come to the realization that the village is doing what's best for her. Not what's best for you all the time, but what's best for her, what's going to be the most, what's going to put her in a safe environment, even if it's not what you always per se want. Or put them in just a position of getting filled with the right things. So yeah, you definitely have to keep a village. For any mother out there who thinks that they can do it on their own, you come to realize very quickly that it's an impossible task.
It is.
Somebody is going to come, even if it's just for a few hours here and there, even if it's just the daycare, that's your village. Yeah. Like whether you like to accept it, that mindset of it or not, your daycare is your village, and that's your village. If you always,
I appreciate my kids' daycare. They know I do. They give me the ability to be able to work the way I work. Pick my kids up from school, take them to school, and I trust those people. I trust those. I was iffy about when Junior was a baby and he couldn't verbally talk, and you know how your mind is thinking like, well, if they're doing something to him, he's not going to be able to,
say anything. Yeah.
But now I'm just like, drop him off. Peace. I'll be back 3-4 o'clock.
To this day, I love a Laura sitter. Like she had her for basically from the time she was about 3-4 months old until she went to kindergarten. And not like to this day, we'll show up at her house, she'll feed me at dinner. Like she always got food. That is still a part of my, if I called her like after the accident happened, she got a Laura a couple of days. Like everybody chipped in from the years before, right? Because at the end of the day, whether we like to admit it or not, the village builds and it's up to you to keep the relationship. But even when people don't like you, even when people get pissed off with you, they might stop fooling with you no more, but they will come and village for your kids, whether you realize it or not.
Yes, I totally agree. My kids, they have an adopted grandmother. Okay. We've been knowing her for like 2.5, maybe 3 years. And when I tell you, this lady be on point with my kids, like she'll cook for them. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. she cooks for them. She's offered to come over to do their laundry. She's offered to pick them up from school just to give me a break. You know, a relationship that was built only what
I need one of
3
those.
years.
I need one of those.
And like recently here, my car's in the shop getting fixed, and she knows that I'm always on the run. My car been in the shop for about 3 weeks. Okay,
It's still
so
in there? I didn't realize it's been there that long.
so between my son and my daughter and her, been helping me out on Fridays. You need the car, come get it. You can bring it back Sunday. You can bring it back Monday morning. This weekend, my stepmama let me use her car. So I'm like grateful for people that's
They
attached.
know you. They know your life. They know that you got to be on the go and sitting down. They're gonna help you to
Yeah.
continue to care for your life.
Yes, because when I
That's
was
what's
sitting
up.
there, I was like, am I getting pumped? Like, how am I supposed to run my business without a car? And it's, I can go get another one, but I don't want to get another one. I want to get my car fixed.
No car note. I ain't with. I
So
ain't
it's
mad.
been
Nobody
like,
trying to get no car note.
and
Not in
I'm
this
telling you,
economy.
it's been hell with this car with me. And, everybody that really knows, well, how much more longer on your car? I'm like, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it because it's not fixed. Whenever it get fixed, it'll get fixed.
Yeah. So in the meantime,
It is
I'm
what
making
it
it
is.
work. I'm still making everything happen.
Hey,
People wonder, like, I've been with, I haven't had a car since the accident, and people really be in shock. Like, how you get around? I mean, I do what I gotta do when I gotta do it.
exactly.
Like, if I want to go out, I figure out a way to go out.
Yeah.
Trust me, if a crackhead to find crack with no money, baby, you can figure out how to have a life with no car.
Exactly. If it means even going to get a rental car, if
Cause
you're
you
going
tell
down
me,
to,
I definitely every once in a while I get a rental car for a weekend, run some errands, get
yeah,
all the things I need to get done because it might be just too much to try and do it all with Uber or the bus or something.
yes,
But
so
I definitely realize even as a mom, you can make anything happen.
you
You
can.
don't have to have any of the resources that they say you gotta have. All
Mm-mm.
you gotta do is have a willpower.
You do. You gotta have get up and go get it. I'm telling you, do. Because I sit back and I be like, well, how did I don't know how I did this. I'm such an emotional person. When I just sit down and I'm a deep thinker and I just start crying. But one thing about it, I get up and I make it happen. And I wish a lot of more people was like that. Get up and make it happen. You know, cry your tears, get up, wipe your face, and go get it. Because these kids, they really depend on us.
They do.
They depend on
They
us.
do. And it's okay to have time where you just need to get yourself together. You just have to not give up on getting to the process of getting out of it. I
Yeah,
think that was probably the biggest thing I learned over the last few months is just knowing it's going to come to an end, whatever the stress is, whatever problem is, because at the end of the day, survived all the other ones you ran into.
yep,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
What's another one you haven't done before and try and figure this one out
yep.
and take it one day at a time. Some days will be great. Some
And
days will
time
not.
and time is still gonna keep ticking.
It is.
So, time waits for nobody. And I tell people that all the time. I sat around and I let almost 3 years, like time just, and I had to like give myself a reality check. Like, you got to get it together. You got to get it together. He's not coming back. You got to keep going. So now I'm moving. I'm not letting no more time pass by me.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, what's one of the things you wish you known before becoming a mother?
Ooh. I wish I had have known to work on myself sooner.
Yeah.
Like some things I noticed in my parenting, I have to stop and correct myself and come back and apologize. Like I didn't do that the way I should have. And I realized it after the fact. And part of it was because when I looked at your face, I saw my own childhood trauma, and then it clicked.
Yeah.
So now I got to come back because I hadn't dealt with that part of me yet. I didn't deal with this, emotional trauma, that happened, or that childhood me that I didn't realize until I had done something, said something, moved a certain way. And I look at my kid and realize, you're doing that because I did this, and I did this because my mom did this. But I didn't like that when my mom did me, but I still ended up doing it to you. Let me fix myself. If I had have learned to start healing earlier,
Mm-hmm.
when she was smaller or prior to, because I don't really feel like I started a healing process until after my kid was born.
Uh-huh.
And so if I had started this process sooner, maybe it wouldn't be. Maybe that would have been something that I would have preferred to have had, like just to be able to know a little bit more of who I was before it got thrown back in my face with a little person.
Yes. Because we can be going through so much in life, and for instance, I've done it a few times, and I had to like, whoa, you calm down, take some deep breaths, and just drop everything and just give your kids your undivided attention. You know how sometimes we can be doing 3-4 things at once, and your kids, mommy, 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 and you just blast off at them.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I've stopped doing with my kids because that tears them down.
Yeah, it definitely do.
That tears them down. So when we get home, it's 15 minutes mandatory relax time. Everybody go to their room and just wind down. After you wind down, we can all come together. We can all, talk, and you can tell me all your stories that
Yeah,
happened that day. But just coming home and just straight, going into mommy mode, it can be a bit much, after
it
a
can
hard
be.
day at work.
Sometimes you just want to sit down. Listen, I just need about 5, 10 minutes.
Mhm.
Just give me about 30 minutes, okay? More than
Maybe
we
an
need more than
hour.
5 to 10. Give me about 30 minutes to just sit here, stare in the space, watch TV, scroll my phone, and just be in my world.
Yes.
And then I'm available to you. Like that's all I like. But even when you do that, they'll still go, can we do such and such?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know one of the things that I'm now teaching my kids is you got to earn your money. Okay? Because let me tell you, when their dad died, I used to buy, and buy because I knew that they was hurting,
Mm-hmm.
but I was also hurting them as well. So they have to save. They get a certain amount of allowance every week. If you don't do your chores, you won't get the money. You get what I'm saying? You got to learn how to save. So funny story. Today we went to Ross. I'm addicted to going to Ross. It's Mother's Day. I got a hot $100 bill. Let me go see what I can find at Ross. Okay. So we were shopping around, and Ladybug found this jewelry set where you make jewelry, and she was like, "Mama, can you buy this?" I was like, no, but you can buy it. You got all this money on your green light card, and you want me to pay for it? No, you're gonna have to pay for your stuff. You work for your money and you buy what you want. So when she paid for her the little set that she had, she kind of looked at me like in disappointment. And I said, well, that's how I feel all the time. And Ladybug, she goes in the stores and she just picks stuff up. She don't look at the price.
Right.
Pick it up and throw it in a basket. So now today she got a real feel on spending her own money. Well, I had $120. Now I got $80. What can I do to get it back to 120? Save your money.
Save your money.
You save your money. How can I get all my money back over all these years I done spent? And I done spent some money. So she got a wide awakening of spending your own money.
That's definitely one of those things the Lord's been learning is like, I'm not just going to just buy stuff anymore. Like these little $5 things, $2 here, that stuff has added up over the years. When you walk into your room, you have everything that you desired.
Exactly.
Like when you walk into this house, you have everything that you need. We're not just going to be buying stuff just because we outside. Like literally, I think that's like what I think she thinks we where we live in. Like, oh, we're outside, we should buy something.
Yeah.
No, we don't have to. Air is free. We do not have to. But, I definitely understand that. Like, I said to myself, I wanted to get into her doing allowance. And though she doesn't necessarily have chores, she just knows how to do everything. Like, if I tell you go do it, then we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And then if it's been a while, let's go back over. Like today, so I just want to clean the house, so I need you to help me cleaning, and I don't want any complaints about it. So she cleaned the bathroom and she swept and mopped the floors and the dishes, no bite out of her. But it's not like I make her do it every week or something. I haven't been consistent about making her do stuff. I just been teaching her since she was little. This is how we do things. So now I
Yeah.
think I need to get into that space because she definitely is getting to that area where she's like,
They need to learn. And my kids, these last two kids, they were so spoiled, but now Junior, I'm teaching him how to take the trash out. Alasia, come on, let's scrub this tub, wash these dishes. Like,
mhm.
we gotta let them learn so they can help us more. Because with us trying to come home, clean dishes and cooking and doing laundry, and Lord knows I hate doing laundry. Okay,
Oh my God.
I done taught my baby how to do laundry now. She know how to put the load in, and put the pods in, and she know how to switch it out. Like, go do laundry.
Mhm.
I'm gonna
So,
be
so
talking to
that,
you
so
today.
here's the thing. Laura kind of learned like the chores. We were working on chores prior to the accident, but she really learned because of the accident. Like I couldn't wash the dishes. I couldn't do the laundry. So she had to learn her own. So
Mhm.
she does do her own laundry. I have done Laura's laundry. Very rarely do I actually do her laundry. For the most part, she does her laundry every week. Like she changed her own beds, her bed sheets, her comforter, her pillows, all of that stuff. I'm not doing none of that. I don't clean her room. Now that is one thing I will say. I don't do nothing in that room. I'm not cleaning it. I'm not sweeping. I'm not mopping. I'm not dusting nothing off. I'm not wiping nothing down. You are cleaning this room. This is your domain. This is all your stuff. And make sure all of it remains in your room.
Well, I
Okay.
need to get on that level because I still make my kids' bed up. I still fold their clothes, but
She knows how to fold her clothes, put them in her closet, in her drawer, and we even learned a Chinese way of folding, so it makes more space.
you know
So
what? Did you get that off TikTok?
I got it off of on Netflix, like the little Asian lady with cleaning, tidy clean, something like that. But yeah, like the threefold thing, the pants go a certain way and
Like a little
everything.
cardboard.
We don't use a cardboard.
You know, I
Mm-mm.
need, that's something that I want to do. I'm tired of folding kids' clothes. I ain't gonna lie.
And it takes time to like teach her how to lay it down flat. But now that we've gotten it, she gets it now, and she hates it when it's messed up on her own now. Like
Really?
she sees the importance of it because like now you can't find that shirt you was looking for because you
Mhm.
messed the drawer all up.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I
yeah. She
made
said,
a message or like I don't know how. Like for me, I bought these like little plastic containers, you know, that you get from Walmart, and they're labeled Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So on Sundays, what we do is we pick out clothes for the whole week. And Alasia, I make her pick out two sets of clothes because she's so picky. She's so picky. So that I've been doing that for about almost a year, and that has really helped me a lot.
that does help that
Versus,
morning routine,
versus waking up in the morning trying to find something to wear.
and then they don't like it. Mm-mm.
And 9 times out of 10, I've already overslept. So you, taking your time about trying to find something, we're all gonna be late.
That we got to that point too. What I would have her do is just pull out 5, 6 outfits for the week, and you
Mhm.
just pick what you want to wear on those days. Because she got to this point of like, I don't want to wear that dress. I don't like this. It's itchy. You just wore it 2 weeks ago. What do you mean it's itchy? Like, so instead of going through that fight, I'll right there with you, like, pick your clothes out, figure out what you want to wear. I don't care as long as they're already set up. She has them hanging on the hangers, and they have the socks, the undershirts, everything ready to go.
Yeah. I know socks is a big issue in our house. I don't know where socks be going, but it's like I'm buying socks every other week. Are you
I
having that problem in your home?
I don't per se have that big of a problem. It's not because of her, it's because of the dog. Because the puppy, she has an issue. She's addicted to snatching socks. She likes to snatch them off your feet. She's obsessed with them. So I find socks under the couch now. But for the most part, we're pretty good on the sock thing. I think where I lose things from her are shoes. Like, where's the other shoe? I don't I don't understand how the shoe didn't end up back in the closet with the other shoe.
Yes.
Why is it downstairs?
Yes, I totally agree because I'm still looking for a pair of shoes that I bought Junior that I can no longer find anymore. And I've looked all over my house and I'm unable to find them. So during your pregnancy, did you have a craving?
Ooh. So I had cravings. I had a meal preparation craving. I would do it every couple weeks
Hmm.
where I would get biscuits from Red Lobster. I would go get salad from Olive Garden. I would go and get um, a burger
Hmm.
from Five Guys and French fries from Wingstop.
Okay.
And I would make all of these stops to make a complete meal.
So let me tell you my craving. Don't laugh about it. And it's really, really horrible. My craving was cornstarch.
I've heard of people having that.
When I
My,
tell you,
my old first lady still like it. Eat on cornstarch.
when I tell you I used to eat it by the box, it's like I was moving something in the city. I had to have it. And it doesn't taste like anything, but it was just the texture in my mouth, while chewing that was just like sensational.
I think that, I mean, you know what I will say? One of the things that I lost was my ability to eat fried foods while I was pregnant.
Yeah.
It would make me sick to my stomach. And I loved, like, this was back when, Fish and Grits was over there on Town and Country Plaza, and I worked at Pates Boulevard. I
Uh-huh.
would go over there all the time. Child, them things make me so sick too. The smell of them would make me so, and I love Fish and Grits.
I love
Love it.
I didn't do too much meat when I was pregnant with Junior. It's like when I tried to eat it, it was like so disgusting. Like I'm like, so I ate a lot of cornstarch, of course, and a lot of fruits and vegetables.
I
That's
was pretty clean with the Lord during my pregnancy, but I wouldn't, no, I'm not lying. I did not eat pretty clean. I ate whatever I felt like eating. It wasn't until after I had her that I did better with my diet because I was breastfeeding. So um, I made sure that I ate pretty clean, like chicken and turkey and fish. Like I would be heavy on seafoods because I didn't want to mess her stomach up, which she did get sick before.
mm-hmm.
So I wasn't heavy on seafoods as much, but I definitely learned a lot of more vegetarian meals and like just different ways to do stuff because I was breastfeeding. So I ate a lot.
I breastfed my last two kids because with the first one I was so young. I was like, I ain't finna let them do this to me. I'm not doing this. But only if I was taught, the great benefits of
Mhm.
breastfeeding.
And I think that's sad in our community because when I had a Laura, I was like a huge breastfeeding advocate. I would post about it, I would talk about it, like because we have the lowest percentage, but in America, but in reality, breastfeeding is the most popular thing across the world.
Yes.
And Black women in America have the lowest percentage in breastfeeding at the time back then, and it's still fairly low, lower than it should be, I believe. And we don't realize the true benefits. Like all people see are the convenience and understanding the efforts that it puts behind it. It is a lot. It
It
is
is.
demanding. It is
It
hard, but it is so well worth it. Number one, on the financial saving,
is. Yes.
um, because I know no one who's breastfed that has, I don't want to say they don't have money problems, but they don't have the same issues.
Yes. I,
Because at the price of cans right now, you're paying $50 a pop for your kid to eat. Like, And that's just a basic can of milk at one point. I can't imagine. And I'm over here spending $20 every 2 weeks on bags. Like,
It's really expensive. I'm glad I was able to do that with my last two kids, even though it hurt like hell. I was not used to it and I wanted to give up. And my baby daddy was like, no, keep going. And I was like, I don't want to do this. It's so uncomfortable, but I still suffered through
you
the
push
pain
through. You push through it.
and I
I
did what I had to do.
You do what you got to do, and it can be very rewarding because I think there's a different type of relate. I can only say from what I feel like I have with my daughter is I feel like there's a different type of relationship.
Yeah.
There's a different type of bond, that physical touch. Even to this day, I'm skinny, and my baby would love to sit on a big breast woman and pass out. She would. That was nothing for her to do that, okay? But she can still do it on her mommy, and that made me feel so special, right? Because I'm where the milk is at, and that does not matter for me to this day. My kid is huge, still want to lay on top of me. You see how tiny I am, girl? You about as big as me, but I do feel like part of that is because I breastfeed, because I was not a touchy-feely person either.
Mm-hmm.
So breastfeeding was very uncomfortable just for the fact that I had to have somebody touching me all the time.
Yes. I'm a touchy feely person, in my relationships with my kids. I'm always hugging them, kissing them, and they just got to put up with it until the day I die because I want them to know that, hey, I love you.
This is what I learned. Part of within my breastfeeding is because she would just come and just want to love on me and just want to touch me and just want to be next to me. And I literally have times where I'd be like, please don't touch me. Like, this is me in real life, like on a regular basis. Like, why are they touching me? Like, I remember being pregnant and this lady tried to ask me, can I touch your belly? No. And they were like, why is she so angry? She's not angry. I just don't want to be touched. Like, that's weird. And like, just touch me.
Like, why you want to touch my stomach for?
Right. I don't know you. Like,
I never walk up to nobody and be like, can I touch your stomach?
No, because I think I learned that more so when I became a mom. When I became pregnant, I became more cognizant of those things. But yeah.
Yeah. So if you could trade places with your child for a day, what's the first thing you think you'll do?
Ooh. Sleep in. Um, Definitely go play on the playground.
Mm-hmm.
Because I cannot play on the playground anymore. Like, they have to go playing. Like, I think I would just want to just run out the energy. And yeah, I think I would just want to run out the energy just to be able to have that playfulness, that youthfulness again.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep in, wake up, and just go run around, play, and enjoy just having nothing to care about, having nothing to worry about.
Yes.
Other than, is mom cooking dinner yet? Like, and they don't even think about it till I'm deep hungry, because that's how they do.
Yes. I wish I could trade spaces with Junior just to see what that little brain be thinking about. He be doing some crazy stuff, and I just be looking at him like he is so
very
weird.
interesting. He is very interesting.
Girl, let me tell you something. He's so loving and he loves everybody. He loves to give out hugs and he get that from me. But now what I'm working on him with, stop running up to people hugging him. Like, I get so mad, because everybody don't like to be hugged. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to teach him to say, can I give you a hug? Or would you like a hug versus just running up hugging people? Yeah, so that's what I'm working on him with. But I would love to trade spaces with him just to see what he just think about, even if it's just for an hour.
I think I would like that too, just to know how she feels about certain things, like when she makes certain facial expressions, or just to see her, like, because I can't imagine what it's like being in her world of, because I didn't have the ability to go see my dad all the time. My dad wasn't down the street, and he wasn't even my biological father.
Mm-hmm.
So she gets the ability to see her parents every week. I like, for the last few years, she's never gone longer than a week or so. Other than me going out of town, she's never gone
Yeah.
too long, Junior, um, without having to be the ability to see us. So
Mhm.
I think I would want to understand what that feels like because I didn't have that. To see if all the pressure I put on myself to I don't want to say force the relationship,
Mhm.
but discomfort myself to create the relationship,
Yes.
to um let go of the control to allow there to be a better relationship.
Yeah.
How is it really doing what I think it's doing? Because
Yeah.
they don't say nothing.
They don't. But out of all my kids, Alasia expresses every single thing. Like, it's so funny because we we was riding in the car a couple days ago, and she's big on when are you gonna date, mama? And I tell her all the time, I was like, Lay, well, I'm not really focusing on dating right now. I'm running the business, and I don't have time for it.
Hmm.
And she say, well, we're gonna get big, and we're gonna grow up, and we're gonna go off to college, and we're gonna start our own life, and you're gonna be alone because you didn't want to date. And I'm like, all this coming from a 9-year-old.
Dang.
And
You
I'm
don't call
like,
me out like that.
wow, really? She was like, well, you need to learn how, to stop being mean to me. And I don't be being mean to people at all. I don't be being mean to people, but I just don't be having time for the bullshit. Just to keep it real. Like, I don't be having time for it. Like,
So
because I got too much stuff going on, and you're not about to distract me with the foolishness. Like, no
today,
distraction.
sir. Not today, sir.
Mm-mm. So it's fun just being able to ride with her and listen to her talk about different things. So I don't have to worry about her. My oldest two, they only express stuff when they're mad. They want to sit down and talk. I'm more like their therapist. Especially if they're going through something. And I'm very honored that they can come to me, and if they got a situation going on, that they'll come to me and sit down and they'll talk to me about it, even if it makes me mad. But what I've learned as a parent with them, to don't shut them down. Even though I be want to say, well, why the hell did you do that? You know, I can't do that. I have to learn how to listen so I can respond to know why they did what they did. So I really appreciate that relationship with them. My son, we're so close, mystical. Yasmin and I, we done got really, really close, even though she pissed me off the most. But that's still my child, and I love her.
It's your first twin.
Yeah. And I be wanting to tell her sometimes, if you would have just listened to what I've told you, you wouldn't be going through this.
And
But
I think every parent experiences that with adult children because I do know, like, having in hindsight, having conversations with my dad and him being like, well, he had to listen to me when we had this conversation now. I don't need to talk so mom, dad, like, you know what I'm saying? But I realized, like, that is really what happens. As a young adult, we don't want to hear what our parents are saying. We don't relate to them. Because for many of times, I think mine was just because I couldn't believe my dad because I didn't know if he was really telling me the truth.
yeah,
Or he was just trying to make me do something because he just thought it was a better idea than what he did a long time ago. Like I never felt like I knew what the idea was, only to later on down the line always realize that every time he told me something, it did. If I had done it, it could have been different. If I had approached it this way, it could have been different. So it's gonna keep happening probably until they're in their 30s, and he's gonna look back and be like, "Now
yes.
you did it."
I'm so big on I'm so big on wanting to protect them from any little thing. And what I've learned is they are their own person.
Yeah,
So they have to make mistakes, and they have to learn. And sometimes they have to learn the hard way. And they'll come back and they'll appreciate me much more. And I just got to learn how to say, well, I told you so. Because
yeah.
my daughter, that second born, when she be talking to me about things, I'd be like, I told you so. You should have just listened to me. But they are their own people, and they got to learn. Even though if it some may have to learn the hard way, but they got to learn on their own.
And it sucks for us as parents because like I could have helped you avoid running into this financial distress, this mental distress, this physical distress, but you want to do it your way.
Hmm. So, what's the funniest thing your child has said or done that you couldn't help but laugh at?
Ooh, funniest things she's ever done. I think most of my moments probably come from when she was little, and she used to just say the most random things. And she had this saying, and I just watched a video of it the other day. She had this thing where she used to be like, oh goodness, it was like it's a nana boo, like something along those lines. It was like not real words. Never had an idea where she learned it from,
Hmm.
but it was like our little go-to, like our little go-to song. And she would say at the most random moments, like somebody falls, "Ooh, it's a nana boo."
So let me tell you
I'm so
about.
sorry.
So let me tell you about my funniest moment. And it's with Junior. So he took my wig to school for show and tell.
Shut the front door. Are you serious?
For show and tell, he took my wig to school and they called me on the phone. They was like, Miss Allen, please come back up to school. So I'm thinking like, oh my God, what Junior, what didn't happen? Like, why can't he just behave? And they was like, we got something you may want. And I'm like, okay, what is it? And they gave me my wig, and girl, I was so embarrassed. I was
Oh my gosh.
when I picked him up, he was like, Mom, I took your wig to show and tell. And I was like, why did you do that? I was embarrassed at this point. And so for like the next 2 weeks, they was like, can you make can you make sure you check Junior's bag? Because ain't no telling what else he may have in there.
Check his bag before you get to school.
Okay, he may have some stuff in there he don't need to have. But overall, being a mother is rewarding. I really have grown as a woman in, just motherhood itself.
Yeah.
Because there's no telling, like, if I didn't have my last two kids, there's no telling what I'd be doing right now. So I'm really grateful. And a lot of people they ask me, what was you thinking of having more kids? But you know what? I still can live my best life with my kids.
That part. People make it seem like we can't. Like, I mean, yes, obviously there are financial distressors that come along with these little buggers.
Yeah,
However, I can still live a good life.
yes, you can.
And
And my kids.
honestly, like, I feel like with parenting, you learn how to be a better you from talking to other people that I know who have multiple children. With each kid, you become a better part of you because you learn another person, and that helps you to mold better into the world that's out there, be more understanding of the people that are out there.
Yeah, yeah. Because I never was those type of people where I'm gonna leave my kids at home. I'm going out, or I'm dropping my kids off over here because so I can
Yeah.
live my best life. Now, I'm gonna live my best life with my kids. Either you gonna vibe with us or you can keep it moving.
Hmm.
I have +2, and it's gonna be like that for a long time. So
A long time.
if you can't accept that, baby, you got to keep it moving. Family, friends, it goes for everybody. Because kids, they wasn't asked to be here.
They didn't.
Mm-mm, they didn't. So being a mother takes a special person to wear all those hats that we wear, but we manage to get through it.
We do.
We do. Even when we come home and cry, or I know I done called you and vent to you a lot, and you vent to
Hmm.
me, but we get through it. Well, it was
Every
good
day.
having you on the show today.
Thank you for having me. I feel so special and honored.
You look so cute today. It's drizzling
You
again
too.
here,
It's just like
so
see, it hasn't drizzled over here yet. Hey, Junior.
Can you tell a happy Mother's Day?
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. Give your mom a kiss for me.
I
Gi-
She said, "Give your mom a kiss."
Give your mom a kiss for me. Thank you.
don't, Mommy. There you are.
Okay, wait 1 second. Well, thank you.
Ice cream.
Thank you for joining us today, and I will chat with you later.
Love you,
Happy
boo.
Mother's Day to all the ladies out there. I hope you
Happy
guys.
Mother's Day.
Thank you, Charlie. All right, sugar. I'll talk to you later.
Mommy, what? Where's your